This computer. All right. Peace, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those who will not be catching the live right now, you'll be able to catch the recording. No worries. I will be posting this on my public YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch it there, if you want to be in the school and you can watch it there, or if it's in the Discord, you can watch it there as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, this is not financial advice. Please do not take this as such. This is 100% for education and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial advice. Please do not take this as such. Now, there's a lot going on the state level in crypto. They want us focused on price. And I'm not mad at price because at the end of the day, you need money to live in the United States of America. And that's where we reside. So I often hear people complain about how much things cost or uh, why the cost of living is going up. And my response is always the same. You have to increase your income, but not only increase your income, you need to increase your knowledge about the income. Not just increase your income, increase the knowledge about where the income comes from, what industry you're in, what new things are taking shape and taking place that allow you to increase your income. So I'm heavy into DeFi, decentralized finance, for those who might be new to this channel. I have to know what is going on in the decentralized finance space, in the crypto space, in the blockchain technology space, because that's the industry that I'm in. It's constantly changing, it's constantly evolving. And today, I just wanted to share some of that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the landscape of decentralized finance, DeFi, and crypto regulation is undergoing a massive, rapid transformation over the last few weeks, the momentum has shifted aggressively towards legitimizing digital assets and integrating them directly into the traditional financial system. The most critical legislative actions, state level conflicts, and federal shifts are breaking right now. Number one, federal legislation passing major milestones. While state level laws establish local hubs, a sweeping national framework is currently moving through Congress, profoundly impacting DeFi and asset tokenization. The Clarity Act. On May 14, 2026, the Senate Banking Committee, that's all of banking, all of the banks, every last one of them, Bank of America, Chase, credit unions, banking is changing their tune. So the Senate Banking Committee officially passed the Clarity Act in a bipartisan 15-9 vote. The DeFi safe harbor. Crucially, for the decentralized community, the bill includes safe harbors for software developers, DeFi developers, and network participants engaged solely in infrastructure or code development are exempt from federal security/commodities laws and money transfer requirements. Ooh. Provided the protocol is truly non-custodial. So let me highlight this for a second. This right here, exempt from federal securities and commodities laws. You know what? I'm gonna add the highlight and money transmitter requirements. You need a license. Stop chewing on my chair, Jazz. Stop chewing on my chair. No, no chew. You got toys. Chew on your toys. Here, right here. There you go, mama. Is you tweaking, you chewing on my chair. I don't like that. You need a license to be a money transmitter. If you do anything over $10,000 in crypto, they will view you as being a money transmitter. You need a license. So engaged solely in infrastructure and code development, you are exempt from federal securities slash commodities laws and money transmitter requirements. As long as you are non-custodial, that means that you are not holding the asset or assets. The yield impasse. The bill explicitly prohibits platforms from offering passive deposit like yield or interest payments. Right here, beautiful. Building on the stablecoin restrictions of last year's Genius Act. However, active transaction based or activity based rewards remain permissible. So let's highlight that as well. Transaction based or activity-based rewards remain permissible. Hold on. It didn't highlight that. There we go. Yes, it did. Right here. Fire me up another incense, please. Thank you. So, active transaction-based or activity-based rewards remain permissible. So, if you are transaction based in a community, I don't know, maybe like a Discord that we have almost no activity in, or like a school community that we have almost no activity in, we would be exempt from offering passive deposit like yield or interest payments. I don't think y'all realize how powerful that is. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that for a second. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that for a second. I don't think y'all realize we got two communities that we can build inside of, and we have almost no activity whatsoever because everybody's waiting on the next call. What's the next thing to buy? Instead of using the community for what it's for. Jurisdiction drawdown. The CTFC is granted formal oversight over digital commodities like Bitcoin and Ethereum spot markets, while the SEC retains control over centralized token projects and initial offerings using a modernized taxonomy. Taxonomy. Okay, excuse me. So I would pay attention to that as well. They have a modernized tax way of actually taxing centralized token projects and initial offerings. Pay attention to that as well. The American Reserve Modernization Act. This is my first time seeing this. It's probably y'all first time seeing this. I never even seen this. Introduced on May 21st, 2026, this bipartisan bill moves to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve within the U.S. Treasury alongside a digital asset stockpile for other government-held crypto. Hmm. What's up, Luke? What other government-held crypto? Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. That's really interesting. The bill explicitly protects individual property rights. Hmm. Individual property rights, affirming that the federal government cannot impart or impair the right of individuals to own, transfer, or self-custody digital assets. They can't stop you from self-custody. They can't stop you from owning, and they can't stop you from transferring digital assets. State level dynamic, innovation versus restriction. While crypto-friendly states continue to utilize customized trust frameworks, ooh, ooh, the crypto-friendly states continue to utilize customized trust frameworks and sandbox environments Sandbox means that you're building something. Sandbox means that you're building something. Pay attention to that word, sandbox. Sandbox means you're building, you're developing, you're doing something. Sandbox environments, a sharp legal battle has just emerged regarding state overreach into decentralized prediction markets. Ooh-wee. That sounds like they're trying to mess with the poly markets. That's what that sounds like. Sounds like they're messing with poly market because you can make a bet on pretty much anything on the poly market. And as long as liquidity flows into the poly market, you'll be able to clear the bet or either lose on the bet. But either way, as long as liquidity flows into it, it's gonna go through. The Minnesota prediction market clash. On May 19th, 2026, the CFTC filed a lawsuit against the state of Minnesota to block a newly passed state law. Minnesota passed legislation making it a criminal felony to operate or work with a prediction market. Oh shit, why are y'all doing that, Minnesota? Why? Oh, look, what did I just say? Poly market. I literally just said that. So, made it a criminal felony to operate or work with a prediction market, a sector heavily dominated by decentralized protocols like Polymarket. The law is scheduled to go into effect August the 1st, 2026, and the federal pushback highlights a growing friction. States attempting to criminalize decentralized applications versus federal agencies attempting to assert exclusive regulatory oversight. State trust companies gain custody ground. State trust companies gain custody ground. Building on state level banking structures, often pioneered by states like Wyoming and Texas, where I currently reside. The federal ecosystem is leaning heavily into state charters. Recent guidance forming, excuse me, recent guidance formally permits investment advisors and funds to treat state charter trust companies as qualified custodians for digital assets, provided the assets are strictly segregated and not rehypothecated without explicit consent. Rehypothecated means you can make a deal, you can lend on the assets, you can borrow against the current assets, you can create a market for your assets. So they cannot be rehypothecated without explicit consent. This bridges the gap for localized institutional asset onboarding, such as self-directed retirement structures and tokenized portfolios. So just imagine if you had a $500,000 portfolio. Let's make it a nice round million. Let's say if you had $1 million portfolio and you didn't want to sell your portfolio, you wanted to tokenize your portfolio, and you wanted to sell those tokens in that are directly correlated to your $1 million portfolio that is constantly growing at, let's say, a 8% interest rate per year. Individuals who purchase those tokens of your tokenized portfolio would be the benefiters. Those individuals would have direct access to your portfolio, but not direct access in the way that you think. They would only have direct access as far as the token goes. So any interest that's paid out on that particular value that's in the 401k, you would redistribute to the token holders. If you had a $1 million portfolio, you can tokenize it and sell the tokens for $1 million. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that as well. All right. Number three, the executive shift. Open access to the banking grid. Oh shit. In tandem with these bills, a massive executive policy shift occurred on May 19, 2026, when the White House signed the executive order integrating financial technology innovation into regulatory frameworks. This order changes the playing field for digital asset providers and non bank innovators. Master account access. It explicitly directs federal banking regulators, including the Federal Reserve, to reconsider the barriers that have historically blocked crypto and fintech firms from accessing the nation's core payment infrastructure and Federal Reserve master accounts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't share what I want to share. I really hope y'all read between the lines because I am under an NDA, but I want y'all to hear what I just said and then ask yourself why that matters. Because I'm under an NDA. I can't say anything. But that right there, that master account access, you might want to look into who wants to have master account access. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So I said it without saying it. Okay. Uh, Defragmentation. Regulators have been given a 90-day window to identify and dismantle existing rules, guidance, or orders that unduly impede innovative tech firms from partnering with traditional financial institutions. They got 90 days to clean up this shit. They had 90 days. When was that signed? Let me go back. May 19th. Woo. And y'all focused on price? We're focused on price? And they doing shit like this? Man, listen, it's over with. Summary of what this means for DeFi and tokenization. Pure DeFi code. Current status. Protected under Clarity Act safe harbors. Impact on the ground. Non-custodial smart contracts and liquidity pools face reduced registration burdens compared to centralized counterparts. Stablecoins and yield, highly restricted on interest. Focus is shifting entirely toward payment utility, collateral transparency, and compliant transactional rewards. Self custody, protected via ARMA frameworks. Bipartisan consensus is hardening around defending the legal right to private keys and self custody. I'm going to read that one more time. Bipartisan consensus is hardening around defending the legal right to private keys and self custody. Banking rails opening a via May 19th executive order. The structural wall between legacy banking infrastructure and compliant digital asset firms is actively being dismantled. I wish my boy Ant was on this call. He would be firing off that sound, man. All I hear is I swear to God. I wish I had it on here because this is powerful. They are literally breaking down the current banking infrastructure. Banking as we know it is being dismantled. The clear trend is a shift away from regulation by enforcement and toward a structured, highly integrated dual system where decentralized protocols have clear boundaries and tokenized real world applications have a direct pipeline into legacy financial rails. Does anybody have any questions? Let me see who all is on here. Hold on. Okay. It's still the same two people on here. Brother Derek, what you got, man? Matter of fact, let's go see what's popping in Maryland. Hold on. Let's do that. Let's do that. Sister Tanika, you got any questions? I know y'all got some questions. I just gave y'all a lot.
Yeah,
What?
I'm just my situation and, trying to plan my next moves. I'm getting out of taking, private contracts in my current business, but um, I'll still be generating, revenue. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
trying to imagine. And I guess I just keep with my education, but how do I position myself to take advantage of these changes that are going on?
Mm-hmm.
And how fast can I move? Like I'm just thinking, like, what can I do to
Mm-hmm.
leverage what I have to generate, capital?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So that's what's on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up you're in Pennsylvania, right? Come on, Socks. How beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna move it in a sec. No
So
worries.
for me, it's Pennsylvania, Alabama, Georgia.
Okay. Pennsylvania, Alabama, Georgia. Okay, I got you. So let me take a look at Maryland right quick. Maryland has aggressively stepped into the spotlight as one of the most proactive pro crypto states in the country. Pro crypto states in the country. In May 2026, Governor Westmore signed a comprehensive suite of do not move that heavy tote. No, no, no. Hold on, y'all. She being hard headed. No, no. Stop, stop, stop. Go sit down. Go sit down. Thank you. Love you. You're not about to move that heavy tote and then be complaining later. No. Bye. Close the door behind you. Thank you. Love you. All right. Governor Wes Moore signed a comprehensive suite of digital asset and blockchain bills into law in May. This is this month, right? Yep. This rather than focusing purely on theoretical frameworks, Maryland is specifically targeting real estate tokenization, decentralized system protections, and consumer safety rails. Real estate tokenization, blockchain property records, SB 168, and a major win for the real world asset space. Maryland passed SB 168, passed unanimously in the Senate and 119 to 14 in the House. The mandate. This law directly orders the State Department of Assessments and Taxation to evaluate and build a framework for recording and verifying real property titles and leases on a blockchain. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know how long that's been a problem? Verifying real property titles when you get ready to sell a property, or you know how long that's been a problem for individuals to lease a property, and you got to make sure that that person is the actual owner of the property. And now they're getting ready to verify real property titles and leases on the blockchain in Maryland. Oh my goodness. The practical goal. The state is explicitly analyzing how an immutable blockchain ledger can streamline title transfers, completely eliminate deed fraud, and assist courts and law enforcement in resolving property disputes involving unauthorized occupants. The department is under a strict deadline to deliver its operational findings by the end of this year. Commercial law. Ooh, oh, it's getting real interesting over here. Maryland ain't fucking around. Aligning with UCC Article 12, SB 154, Maryland officially modernized its commercial code by enacting SB 154, which incorporates provisions for controllable electronic records, or called CERVs. What it does, this law legally elevates digital assets to the exact same status as traditional physical property. What it does, excuse me, why it matters. It gives businesses and investors rock solid legal clarity on how digital assets can be owned, financed, transferred, and crucially used as secured collateral under state law. Man, I'm excited. I'm really excited. The Digital Asset and Blockchain Task Force. Interesting. Come here, Jazz. Come here, Jazz. Sit down, Mama. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Right there. Right there, Jazz. Have a seat. Thank you. Because you're in the way. Thank you. Have a seat. Right there. There you go. Okay. Governor Moore also signed into law the creation of the Digital Asset and Blockchain Technology Task Force. This public private engine is tasked with studying cross industry blockchain use cases. Excuse me. They haven't even done the research. They still haven't even done the research. Is tasked with studying cross industry blockchain use cases, mapping out risk to benefit ratios for local businesses, and analyzing how the crypto industry tax affects state tax revenues and energy consumption. Why are they worried about the energy consumption of digital assets? The only thing that consumes energy is Bitcoin because it's being mined. That's interesting why they're trying to focus on the energy consumption. I would do some research on that part. They are required to submit a comprehensive policy blueprint to the governor and General Assembly to draft future state legislation. Excuse me. Consumer hardware and staking protections. The Financial Innovation Act, SB 759, moving quietly through the legislature, is the Maryland Financial Innovation Act, which aims to draw an absolute line against local government overreach. Self custody rights. The bill strictly prohibits any state agency or local municipality from restricting or impairing a citizen's ability to hold crypto in self hosted or hardware wallets, run a blockchain node, or accept digital assets as valid payment for goods and services. Ooh. I'm starting to like Maryland more and more now. The staking shield. Crucially for DeFi, the bill explicitly clarifies that staking as a service is completely excluded from the definition of an investment. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Staking as a service is completely excluded from the definition of an investment contract or security under the Maryland Securities Act, exempting infrastructure providers from predatory registration filings. Yo, when this recording is done, I would highly suggest y'all share this. I would highly suggest y'all share this. When y'all see this, when it's posted on YouTube, I would highly suggest y'all share this. Localized fraud protections, we need those. Virtual currency kiosks. On May the 12th, 2026, Governor Moore signed SB 741 to crack down on retail-facing fraud while keeping traditional banking separate. The law significantly broadens the definition of a virtual currency kiosk operator to capture any person installing software on standalone automated devices providing crypto services. To protect consumers, it forces these kiosks to remain strictly distinct from standard ATMs, prohibiting them from processing cash tied to traditional credit or checking accounts. This law takes full effect in October the 1st, 2026. I'm not mad at that because there have been individuals who have been preying on these senior citizens, and senior citizens don't know that they are using crypto to send these individuals a payment for something that they said they owed. They're just so used to paying for it. They like, you don't want to go to a regular ATM, you want to go to a Bitcoin ATM. So to prevent that from happening, they are putting these laws into place. The summary for Maryland's position in 2026, the SB 168 property title signed into law initiates state-backed deployment of blockchain for recording real estate titles and leases. SB 154 UCC Article 12 signed into law legalizes digital assets as standard commercial collateral. Standard commercial collateral under state law. SB 741 kiosk regulation signed into law imposes strict operational boundaries on crypto ATMs to protect retail users from localized fraud. I'm not mad at that. SB 759 financial innovation pending June effective codifies the absolute right to self custody and legally shields blockchain staking from being labeled a security. Man, hey, Maryland, y'all got my vote. Y'all got my vote. I fucks with y'all. Maryland has transitioned from a passive observer to a highly practical sandbox. What did I say? Pay attention to that word, sandbox. By trying blockchain architecture directly to blockchain architecture directly to land records and commercial property rights, the state is creating a highly competitive blueprint for developers looking to merge on-chain liquidity with real-world assets. Whew, man, I got the chills. I got the chills. Maryland ain't fucking around. All right, let's go Georgia. What is taking place in hold on, let's go Pennsylvania first. PA. Mm. We, we. You see how different states are doing something different. No state is doing the same thing. Y'all peep that? Y'all peep that? This is interesting. Pennsylvania has made a sudden, massive push to establish itself as a highly protective hub for digital asset wealth preservation and consumer rights. The state legislature is advancing a series of highly practical bills designated to eliminate local sales taxes on crypto purchases. Oh shit, I like Pennsylvania. Eliminate local sales tax on crypto purchases? Sadiqa, you see that? Secure state level protections for self custody and create clear legal protocols for managing on chain property. The Bitcoin and precious metals sales tax holiday. House Memo 48353. Introduced in late March 2026, Pennsylvania lawmakers are moving to strip away transaction friction for local wealth builders. Really? Would that be bankroll? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. So, the bill, Representative Robert Leadbetter. Hmm, that's an interesting last name. Hold on, I'm trying to move this down. There we go. Robert Leadbetter introduced legislation to establish a one-time 6-month sales tax holiday explicitly for Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Oh, they playing with precious metals. Oh, let's see what that's doing. The goal, under standard tax laws, commodities can be heavily restricted or penalized by local sales taxes when used in commerce. I'm going to read that one more time. Under standard tax laws, commodities can be heavily restricted or penalized by local sales taxes when used in commerce. This bill aims to treat Bitcoin exactly like a standard cash instrument for half a year, allowing Pennsylvanians to freely trade, acquire, and spend their digital capital without carrying a 6% state financial penalty. Mm, Oh, that's cold. I think I like that. All right, come on, move down. Thank you.
All I got to do is stake it.
The,
Nice.
listen, I'm trying to see if they're going to do anything regarding staking. But what I would do, if that was me, I would just, create an entity in Maryland and then, offer staking as a service in Maryland because staking as a service in Maryland is not an investment contract.
Mm.
That's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? If that was me, not financial advice, but that's what just was read, what I'm saying, on the recording. So, legalizing on-chain unclaimed property. Oh shit. Senate Memo 48136. A massive headache for digital asset holders has been dormant account laws, where states force companies to liquidate inactive accounts into cash. Pennsylvania is moving to protect crypto users from this forced liquidation. The mandate: the Senate advanced a consumer protection initiative to establish clear rules for how the state handles inactive or forgotten crypto wallets. The in-kind custodial guardrail. The in-kind custody guardrail. Crucially, this legislation grants the state treasurer the explicit authority and discretion to hold seized digital assets in their original form. If an asset is turned over to the Commonwealth as unclaimed property, the state cannot force sell it into USD. They must custody the actual tokens, ensuring that if a citizen claims their forgotten property years later, they get their exact, protecting them against missing out on long-term market upside. Ooh, ooh wee. Pennsylvania coming with that shit. Okay, Pennsylvania. Deep
Nice.
legal clarity. Tracking the Bitcoin rights template. Pennsylvania's legislature committees are aggressively tracking the multi state blockchain basics frameworks currently sweeping the country and recently signed into law in neighboring states like South Carolina. The ongoing focus for the PA General Assembly is codifying a hard legal shield that guarantees the explicit right to self custody, preventing any state level agency from prohibiting or restricting the use of self hosted, independent, or hardware wallets, node, or mining freedom, ensuring home-based validation nodes and industrial data centers are protected under state utility frameworks, preventing local municipalities from enforcing discriminatory energy surcharges or targeted zoning bans. That's interesting. I like that one. So, the summary for Pennsylvania's legal grid: House Memo 48353, tax relief, creates a 6-month sales tax exemption on Bitcoin, gold, and silver to encourage local wealth preservation. Senate Memo 48136, property protection, restructures unclaimed property laws so the state treasurer holds abandoned tokens in kind rather than force liquidating them. UCC and right to mine frameworks. Infrastructure and governance, moving to align PH state code with strict self custody protections, shielding node operators from local utility overreach. The takeaway: Pennsylvania is no longer treating digital assets as a speculative tech experiment. By engineering laws to stop the state from forced liquidating inactive tokens and moving toward outright sales tax holidays, PA is actively trying to pull capital away from highly restrictive high tax states like New York and lock it firmly inside the Commonwealth's borders. I really like that word, Commonwealth. I like that word a lot. Okay. I'm gonna do Georgia. See what Georgia got going on. Because that's a red state. Enacting the Stablecoin Act. Oh shit. In May 2026, the legislature and corporate actions taking place in Georgia are a mix of aggressive state positioning and sudden push into the global stablecoin market, a local county level zoning friction. Georgia's approach is a dual front story. The U.S. state of Georgia, what? Hold on. Wait. Let me slow down. The U.S. state of Georgia is leading a structural charge to regulate payment systems locally, while the country of Georgia is simultaneously positioning themselves as an international tax haven and stablecoin laboratory. I'm gonna read that one more time because I might be tripping. I might be tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not. The U.S. state of Georgia is leading a structural charge to regulate payment systems locally, while the country of Georgia, who's the country? Hold on, I gotta read something now. Now I'm interested. Who is the country of Georgia? Because why are y'all referring to Georgia as a country? Hold on, I gotta see something. How is Georgia a country? And I need to know that. I need to know that. Give me the difference. Why is Georgia the name of a country and state? I need to know. Explain it. I don't see it. I need somebody to find that out for me because I think they might be talking about something else. I need somebody to do some research on that for me because that's interesting. Because I might be reading this wrong. Because they're speaking like Georgia is two different places. That's interesting. Here is exactly what is happening across both jurisdictions right now. The U.S. state of Georgia enacting the Stablecoin Act, the Payment Stablecoin Act, excuse me. On May 11, 2026, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed HB 1272, the Georgia Payment Stablecoin Act, into law. This represents one of the most proactive compliance driven frameworks passed by a U.S. state. The mechanism of the act, the federal bridge, the law explicitly ties into Section 4C of the Federal Genius Act. It ensures that Georgia's banking codes are substantially similar to the federal frameworks, allowing issuers under 10 billion to maintain state level supervision rather than being swallowed by federal banking insight. Rigid one-to-one reserve mandates. Any entity licensed under the Georgia Department of Banking and Finance to issue stablecoins must back their own tokens with one-to-one highly liquid assets. Furthermore, the law explicitly prohibits rehypothecation, lending out, or pledging client reserves and bans issuers from paying passive interest or deposit-like yield to retail token holders. Corporate veil and audits. Issuers are legally required to maintain a physical corporate office in the state of Georgia, implement strict BSA and mail safeguards, and publish monthly public reserve reports certified by both the CEO and CFO. Let me read that. Hold on right quick. Somebody just dropped something in the chat. Let me read that. Let me read that. Let me read what's in this chat. I don't know why it's not popping up. Hold on. Extraordinary. I'm an extraordinary. Okay, Georgia, the country is in Eastern Europe. Oh, Western Asia. Okay, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I thought I was tripping. Like, wait a minute, why are they talking like Georgia is two different places? And it is, but we're talking about two different Georgias. Now, the country of Georgia, which is what I'm about to read in a moment, is the European Sovereign Crypto Hub. Now that's interesting. All right. So, local utility friction. While the state capital is passing institutional laws, local municipalities are reacting differently to physical infrastructure. On April 16, 2026, local commissioners in jurisdictions like Union Country, Georgia, enacted emergency moratoriums blocking new zoning applications for cryptocurrency sites, data centers, and data mining facilities. This mirrors a growing trend where state houses want on chain capital, but local counties are capping the physical power drain of data or mining data centers. Okay. They don't want them pulling on the grid, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at that at all. But why? Why put a cap on it? Why? Why do that? That's interesting. The country of Georgia, the European Sovereign Crypto Hub. In the Caucasus, hopefully I'm saying that right. In the Caucasus region, the country of Georgia has formalized its status as one of the premier crypto friendly tax jurisdictions in the world, marked by a massive sovereign partnership. The Tether partnership and Jill, what was that? JLT, May 25th, 2026, just days ago, Tether and the government of Georgia announced a historic joint venture to launch JLT, a fully reserved stablecoin nationally pegged to the Georgian lari. That's interesting. Driven by the National Bank of Georgia, the initiative places Georgia's national currency directly onto decentralized rails to lower remittance costs, facilitate instant B2B settlement, and streamline cross border trade. Interesting. Concurrently, the National Bank established a 6-month transition forcing older local issuers to fully transparentize and legalize their reserves to match international compliance standards. The tax haven advantage. The country's regulatory architecture features unmatched tax incentives for both retail traders and on chain firms, individuals. For Georgian tax residents, cryptocurrency trading and capital gains are 100% tax free. Oh, shit. Really? Really? You don't say. I'm going to read that one more time just in case y'all missed that. For Georgian tax residents, this is not in the state of Georgia, this is in the country of Georgia. Cryptocurrency trading and capital gains are 100% tax free. The state classifies digital token gains as foreign source income, charging zero local tax and zero VAT on transactions. I might need to go find some people over in Georgia. Need to go holler at some residents in Georgia. That's cold right there. All right, corporations, the Estonian model. Crypto businesses and virtual asset service providers, VASPs, are subject to unique 15% corporate tax, but only when profits are distributed as dividends. If corporate profits are retained and reinvested into the platform, the tax burden is zero. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, we need to go take a trip to Georgia. Anybody down for a trip to Georgia? I need to go take a trip. Because that's cold. I wonder if I can move this to the side. Hold on. Dang it, I can't read the rest of it. Hold on. I wonder if the bar is at the bottom. Give me 1 second. No, yes, it is. I thought so. Thank you. There we go. Okay. So in the US state, in Georgia, HB 1272 enacted Act 452 protects local state banking supervision under the Federal Genius Act template, exempts compliant issuers from standard money transmitter traps, enforces strict one-to-one trust for stablecoin backings. The country of Georgia launched GLT and the VASP updates, built an interoperable sovereign bridge between traditional fiat and digital asset infrastructure, guarantees 0% capital gains for individuals, and introduces structural corporate tax relief for blockchain platforms. In the country of Georgia as well, emergency moratoriums, halts localized power grid and infrastructure expansion, imposes temporary physical restrictions on building new mining data centers at the municipal level. I think that was in the state. Hold on, let me go back and make sure. Hold on. Yep, that was in the state. That's in the state level. I'm sorry. Whether you are watching the U.S. state align its banking codes with federal laws to secure a local payment network, or tracking the European nation transforming in its currency into a native on-chain stablecoin, the region of Georgia is moving towards absolute structural integration. That's where I'm gonna stop it. Yo, does anybody have any questions? It's only two of y'all on here. Please ask away. Please ask away. This was a very informative video. I'm making sure I make this public. Nobody? We good? Okay. All right. What was that? I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I said I'm good. I'm still trying
Okay.
to figure out how to increase my revenue and
No doubt. No doubt. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Once this is done rendering, I'll make sure to upload it, and I will catch y'all on the next video. Peace.